Tell us about your story of last 3-4 years.
3 years ago I was nearly 15 stone and not really sure what I could do about it. And I was with my boyfriend and I joked about liposuction would be the only answer that I could think of. You said that you would be able to help me with the physical attributes but not necessarily the mental. That would have to be something that I'd have to work on myself as well, and it would have to be a whole change. Lifestyle, eating, drinking, gym, my entire attitude would have to change in order for it to work, because it's not, liposuction is not the the ultimate answer to anything. So with that in mind, we still went ahead. And just the change in my physical shape at that point was just unbelievable. Even though my weight didn't change, I was able to fit into smaller size clothes and just felt already much happier, but there was still quite a long way to go.
So what was your dress size before we started this journey, and what is your current dress size and the change in the difference in your weight?
I was nearly 95 kilograms at my heaviest, and this morning was 69.8. That's very important, 0.8.
Yeah.
And I was a 16/18 3 years ago. I'm now 10 to 12. And I've been a 10 to 12 since probably March this year, and have managed to stay stable weight, which is unheard of, and keep the same dress size.
Good. Yeah.
So
yeah,
no more tears in a changing room.
Yeah. Tell us about your, I would say, personal transformation of your lifestyle in terms of your exercise routine, your diet, and what kind of things you experimented and tried with yourself.
Probably before I met you, I tried every single diet under the planet, and it never really worked because I wasn't capable of sticking to them. It was always, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this to the exclusion of anything else, and then just go back to normal. Whereas this time it's taken a long time, but I had some hypnotherapy sessions which you probably don't really feel necessarily work until it's an unconscious thing. I had a personal trainer who was relaxed in as much as I could see him when I wanted to see him, but he would work me very hard when I did see him. And now I don't discount any sort of food, but I just eat in balance and in moderation, and I don't eat as quick as I possibly can just in case someone takes it away. Or I used to eat really fast because then no one would see it, and I would eat things I didn't even like, but because they were naughty I thought I should have them. Like since doing this I've realised I really don't particularly like takeaways, and I don't know why I was eating them before, and all of that sort of thing. So it's not really about what you eat, it's about the quantity of what you eat and making the right decisions. So if you want to have a dessert, that doesn't mean you have to have, you can have something different for main course or whatever. Yeah. But it's all about making different decisions now, which I wasn't able to do before because I was just went ahead and did what I wanted to do. So.
And tell us about your experience with body contouring procedures, liposuction in stages and everything.
It is 1,000,000 times less painful than I was expecting it to be, or that it sounds. It's easy to maintain afterwards. I mean, obviously you get bruising and you're a bit tender, but it's no more tender than if you'd bruised yourself doing something at home. But yeah, I mean, aftercare and everything else, everything was explained, everything was, you know, it didn't interfere with my normal day-to-day life in any way whatsoever. I think one of the surgeries I had was on a Thursday before the Easter bank holiday, and I was back at work on the Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, nothing, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell that I'd had it now because the scars are so invisible.
And what built up to you kind of taking the final kind of step? What was it? You know, there must be a number of different kind of thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know anything about liposuction until I'd actually spoken to Shailesh about it, because you know, the perception is, oh well, someone just comes along and sucks them, but you don't know what that actually means until you talk to someone. And when you go through the procedure, and the thing that really made the decision for me was seeing the before and after photos of someone else with a similar body shape to me.
Yeah.
Which is why I would always say that if anyone else ever came along that was similar mindset to how I am, just show them the before and after photos, because that was the one thing that really made my mind up that, you know,
it's possible.
Exactly. You don't really think, it sounds really silly that you don't really think anything's possible, so I might as well just carry on doing what I'm doing. But until you see something like that and you think, oh my God, you know, that is actually possible. And yes, it costs money, but the amount of money I've spent on stupid fixes and diets and this new wonder thing and that and this, you know, over time probably outweighs what I've spent on this, probably 3 times over.
And how long was the process from the time you kind of decided you wanted to do something? Obviously, you decided you weren't happy with your body shape at some point, and then you decided you wanted to do something about it, and so you tried a lot of other different things. When would you say that began, this process?
Probably right from the time I was about 16.
Right.
So I had issues with weight all the way through, but it wasn't until I met Bob who said, anything's possible, go and talk to someone and just find out. Because there's no point you sitting here being unhappy but not knowing. You know, you made it quite clear that your weight probably won't change, but your physical shape will change. And just to be able to wear a smaller size clothes was enough of a start to then get me going on the rest of it. Because we've seen the pictures, I had a really Homer Simpson body shape. And the change from that to what it is now is just, you know.
Yeah. And you feel, because you feel now that you feel so much better about yourself, that helps you when you kind of think about going back to the old kind of lifestyle.
Nothing has ever made me, it's just a totally different mental mindset. And I still struggle to get my head around it sometimes. Like just simple differences, going out for dinner. Well, I'm going out for dinner, so that's a special treat, so I should have 3 courses, even if I don't want them and I'm not hungry.
Right.
Whereas now it will be, I'm not going to have that, I'm going to have fish for my main course so I can have a dessert. You know, it's like a...
It's as if you had this programming.
Yeah.
And now you can see the
programming. You have
programming.
to clear your plate and you have to eat everything you're given, and if you're going out for dinner it's a treat, so you might as well have whatever it is that's, you know, the most ridiculous amount of calories that you can eat in one sitting. Whereas now it's just, I can't even begin to tell you how weird it is to not be like that, to just be able to think, you know, I don't have to.
Vicky, your photographs, pre and post, can we display along with this, or you are are you happy for that?
If it helps someone else make a decision to do it, then yes, definitely.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
The important thing is a lot of people probably have the liposuction, but they don't necessarily have the whole transformation that you've experienced. So ideally we want to kind of try and help everyone have the same kind of experience if possible. And so So apart from the surgery, what was the kind of most important thing you think in your transformation?
It took quite a long time, but it was the change in the way I was thinking about things, and that, you know, you become more positive. Like, I've always been worst case scenario type of person, that, you know, nothing's ever going to change, or I can't do this on my own. You know, just instantly telling myself, you know, whatever it is I think it's going to be, I'm not going to be able to do it.
So it wasn't necessarily one particular thing, like one session of hypnosis?
No,
or
no,
one
no.
thing.
It was
a combination
everything.
of everything together that is really needed.
Yeah, and you know, I guess people would say, oh well, I can't afford to do all of that, and I probably thought at the time, well, is this the right thing for me to be doing? But the way I feel now, you think, well, if you can't invest something in your own happiness or how you feel, you know, what do you invest your money in, really?
Yeah.
You know, if you buy clothes to cover up a size 16 figure for the rest of your life and be unhappy, or you spend money making a change that does make you happy. And
Vicky, I found it very amusing while you said about your the recent attendance of a
not being recognised.
Yeah, just I think it's very funny. If you wanted to share with the audience.
Oh, well, I went to Royal Ascot with my boyfriend. We went to a box do, and people were there who I've met several times over the last few years, and said, oh Bob, I like your new girlfriend. And my mum hasn't recognised me either, so but it's I wouldn't change it for the world, definitely.
Yeah. I think you have transformed your life. It's not only your body, but I think it's the whole, you know,
it's a totally different outlook.
your mindset, your perception of your own body, and you know.
Well, the last time I wore jeans, I was 8. I'm now 32 nearly.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
So.
Yeah. And Vicky, what is your message to you know, ladies of your age, and with your kind of issues with their body shape and weight and everything? What really is your message in one sentence?
One sentence?
Yeah.
I can't say one sentence.
Okay.
The one thing I've really found out is that until your head's ready to do it, you're never going to get to the point. It's the same as anything else. Until you're really ready in your own mind, you're not going to be able to do it. But when you get to that point, you should just do it.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
people say, oh, it's really expensive, or you shouldn't mess around with your body. Well, it's an investment, and it's how you personally feel, and I wouldn't change how I feel now for anything. It's yeah, amazing.
Vicky, are you happy for this video to be displayed on public domain?
No, I'm only joking, yes.
Okay. All right, that's a good one. All right.